Hello, everyone. Great to see you, Facebook. Get my ears in here. Great to see everyone this afternoon. It is Wednesday, April 4th. This is Reverend Elizabeth Mora from Unity Northwest Church, coming to you from my balcony today. It's an exciting day today. My ears are crooked. There we go. A couple of cool things happened today. I showered for the second day in a row for the first time since we've been staying at home. It's usually an every other day thing. I shower twice. And I put on makeup. It's a little bit of a makeup day. Not the full thing, but some lips and lips. I got all this. And of course, we're ready for Easter. I've got my Easter ears on. And I want to do a couple of PSAs for the moment. I wanted to show off my homemade mask. I hope that all of you are wearing masks out there. It's really important right now because we don't know if we're infected, and we're setting a good example for everybody else out there by wearing masks even when they don't think they need to. There are a million tutorials on there, and this is basically what I did. I did some very simple stitching. Not particularly attractive. Hey, Patricia, great to see you. So this is my mask. You can also do it with staples, with fabric glue. I found a little bit of elastic left over. You can take some out of some sweatpants that you're not wearing anymore, or you can use rubber bands. So this is a very simple, made out of a pillowcase. And let's see, here we go, which is the way that I go. I put a mark on the outside so that I know this is the one that goes out. This has been sitting for 3 days, so it's fine. Boom, boom. The most ridiculous Easter bunny you've ever seen. Okay, so that's PSA number 1. PSA number 2, Instacart. We weren't sure about getting our groceries delivered, or did we feel safe still going into the store? And the last time we went, my husband Arturo said, I felt so nervous the whole time I was in there. I don't care what it costs right now. We're talking our life. I'm going to say that we need to order. So we couldn't get it through Jewel. We couldn't get it through Costco. You couldn't even get an appointment. Hi, neighbor. And so what we did was we went on Instacart. We ordered Monday night around 10 o'clock. Our first order just arrived. Got to tell you, it was really kind of cool. And it felt really affirming to have done that. And then what we did is we took all of the food that we're not going to eat right away. Let's see, can I get it down there? And we just put everything out here in a box that can sit for 3 days. So anything that's in cardboard, anything non-perishable, we just set it out for 3 days. We'll come back to it. I wiped everything else down. There's a great video online. Check my feed for the last couple of weeks even. I've been posting lots of cool stuff like everybody has. But of course, I think that my stuff is the best stuff. Humor. Today, I'm into humor and remembering how important it is to be laughing and having some fun even as we face this dire time. And my heart goes out, airplane overhead. Hey, there's still an airplane going. My heart goes out to all of those. I watched last night on MSNBC. They showed memorials for people that had died, and their family talked about them. And I just sat there sobbing and crying. It's always sad to me. And so they shared how these people had wonderful lives, and all of them saying, that the last thing I said to them before we hung up, because you can't be with your family in this situation, is to say that they love them. So wherever you are, I love you too. Loved. We all need to know that right now. We are loved. Hi, Carolyn. Great to see you. So humor. If you've got some stuff that you particularly like, go ahead and put it down in the comments section. I'm going to share with you some of my favorites. Many of them have been posted on my Facebook page, but here's one of my favorites. There is a new video out by John Krasinski from The Office that is absolutely worth the watch. He is so funny. He is so charming. He's so handsome, and he's so witty. And you have to watch it. It's on my page from about 2 days ago. John Krasinski is doing some good news. I think it's called the Good News Channel or something like that. So he's sharing good news and he's funny and you gotta watch it. So John Krasinski. I also find just about anything that James Corden does is funny. So go to YouTube. I posted one yesterday where he does this series with actors acting out their entire movie career in like 10 minutes or 6 minutes. So they're changing hats and wigs and doing accents and backgrounds. It's really funny. So take a look at James Corden, actors doing their whole movie career. Also, all of his driving the car. Oh God, what's it called? Anyway, all this stuff where he's with the musicians in the car. Those are great. Those are uplifting, and I just find I find James Corden super funny. Also on Netflix, we've been watching comedian specials. I've gotten into some dark stuff. I watched the whole Hunters thing about Nazis, Nazi hunting. Always up for a good Nazi hunt. But then I switched over to comedians, and Sebastian Mancuso, I think his name is, can never get his last name right, but Sebastian's funny. I've always been a big fan of Dave Chappelle. Makes me laugh. Jim Gaffigan. I haven't found it yet, but I just read in the paper, because I still get this thing called the newspaper. Jim Gaffigan is doing Dinner with the Gaffigans, and he's so funny about his kids, about his 5 kids. So I have to look up Jim Gaffigan doing dinner with his kids. So those are some funny things I wanted to pass along to you. They make me laugh, and it's a wonderful thing to do. It's also good for our immune system. I remind myself when I start watching something that's a little too down, I'm like, this actually probably isn't good for my immune system right now. But there is also something healing sometimes, watching a sad movie or hearing some sad music, and balancing that with a lot of humor as well. That's what I've been doing. And then, one more plug. Got to do one more plug for my favorite, perhaps my favorite ever TV show. I don't know. It's up there with West Wing and Dick Van Dyke, my other 2 favorite TV shows. Schitt's Creek on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. Can't say enough. I know a few people have said, I wasn't really into it, maybe the first episode. I've found you've got to give a comedy about 3 episodes to really know. And when this show takes off, it's worth the investment. If the first one doesn't totally grab you, it gets funnier and funnier. And this last season, I just want to go find these people and hang out with them. They're so ridiculous. So Schitt's Creek, if you haven't, dive into Schitt's Creek, and always post on your Facebook page what you're watching, what you love. We also love Mom with Allison Janney. She's just so flippin' brilliant, whether she's winning an Academy Award or she's doing comedy. So I think Mom is really awesome as well. Today, I also wanted to share Ho'oponopono. I don't know why. I think it came up for me when I was watching the MSNBC section where they were doing the memorials for all the folks or many of the folks that have died. And I thought, we're in such a global time of suffering right now. Not everyone is suffering, but many, many are suffering all at the same time, which is unusual to have that. And I thought about the teaching of Ho'oponopono, where we are able to transmute the suffering and the hurt for the whole world. And spiritually, I believe that's part of why we're here, is they call it a bodhisattva in the Buddhist tradition, where someone is enlightened and decides to stay behind. A being decides to stay behind to help everyone else rise up. And no matter whether we're an enlightened being or a simple householder, that we can, through our spiritual practice, uplift everyone. And so I thought of Ho'oponopono because we can practice forgiveness without knowing a person or a situation, and simply send out forgiveness. Do it in our own self, and then that benefits the world. And so I'll review Ho'oponopono with you. It's 4 simple statements. It's a Hawaiian practice. You can look it up online. Hi. I love hearing my neighbors walk by. I'm doing a Facebook Live right now. So my neighbors are walking by, walking their dogs. And so, ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. 4 simple statements. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We step in for whoever might have hurt someone. Doesn't matter whether we hurt someone or not. And although certainly as a human being who's lived any length of time, we have done things that other people think have hurt them, at least. There's been difficulties and stress. And so we certainly can do this practice with those in our life that we feel that we've harmed, but we can do it just for the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. There's so many people, including ourselves at times, but so many people that are walking around with hurts from years ago, the suffering most of the time that we do to ourselves long after a hurt is usually much worse than the hurt itself. We can hold a grudge, hold a hurt for something really small years ago that grows and grows over the years. And so ho'oponopono is a way to clear that out. And I felt like this is a time for the whole planet for some ho'oponopono, for some forgiveness. And so I hold, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And even as I say that, it calms me, not even aware of any grudge that I'm holding, but it's doing something within me. It's helping me let go. It's helping me let go of tethers that I may not even know about are still attached. So in general, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. That's the teaching of ho'oponopono. That plus a good dose of humor every day. An order from Instacart. A mask if you have to go out. But try not to go out except for your walk and your healthy things. Try not to go out right now. It's a critical couple of weeks. We've learned a lot since this whole thing started. I hope that this can be a time for you also to enjoy pulling back. There are days when I really am glad to pull back. Today's one of those days. Tomorrow could be totally different. Enjoy the journey. Namaste.